Duck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of myths about duck.
There is. Here it is. Look at this. There are a lot of myths about duck, and it's very fatty, and it can be. The old ducks years ago.
They can go a bit dry.
It can be. And you know, when you cook a whole duck, people always say you just get a fork and stab it all over, release the fat. The point about that is the fat will come out anyway. And if you overcook a duck, as most people do because they're worried about being fatty, it becomes very dry.
Yeah.
So you have the two extremes. Here, rather than using the breast, I'm using duck legs today. And the reason why I'm talking about legs is because these two cost me £3.
So is there much meat on a duck leg?
Yes, there is. I think there's just as much than on a breast. By the time you take the end off, the thing about it is it takes a bit of gentle cooking. Now, you can confit them like the French do, salt them, leave them overnight, cook them in their own fat, take them out, recook, a bit of a pain. Or you can just slow roast them in the oven. So all I've done here, these are two duck legs. I've seasoned them. I've put them in the oven here and I've cooked them for about 45 minutes.
What's all the sticky stuff?
Aha, I'll come on to that in a second. That is some of the fat that's come out of there as well, and it also self-caramelizes, so you will get a bit of that. But also we use this pan to glaze them, which I'll talk about in a second.
Is it a fattening meat?
It can be. Let me just show you. If you see there, look, there's a little bit of fat here, which is crispy fat, and you can see where that fat's come out. So I would say, on average, that duck leg is probably 20% fat. 15 and 20%, which is what your burger is, between 15 to 20%. Give it some sort of ratio. Now, to go with that, I'm going to make a stuffing, and at the moment, Seville oranges, which are these are the... you can't eat these oranges, you have to boil them first or make marmalade out of them.
Oh, yes, they're marmalade oranges.
Yeah, and they're out now. They're out for about 6 to 8 weeks. They come from Spain. When we made the Seville film years ago for This Morning, we actually walked through the streets and they were brushing them up, for there were so many of them. They got really...
So does it smell?
Yeah.
When you go to Seville, does it just smell?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, they're a lovely orange, but they're really sour.
So,
just pushed it up.
Push it up my nose. Yeah.
Smell the orange. OK, in this pan I've got 1 onion, a bit of garlic, and then all I'm going to do next is add a bit of sausage meat. And if you
actually quite a fruity personality.
Oh dear. It's getting worse. So we just soften the sausage meat in the pan with a little bit of fat, which has come from the onions and the garlic. Okay. The point is, you're not cooking the sausage meat; you're just warming it through to make it easier to mix the other ingredients in. Okay. Okay. So the fat starts to run. Bear in mind, the better the quality of the sausage meat, the less fat that's in there. That's always another good thing. Stir that round, warm it through.
So you're making a little stuffing.
Making a little stuffing to go with that because duck is quite rich, so the Seville orange will give it a really nice balance.
Oh, it's an orange stuffing.
Orange stuffing, yeah.
Oh, that's a
we'll
nice
also make a glaze in a second. So, just a bit of sage.
Fresh?
Fresh sage. This is the orange that I've cooked earlier, so just pop that in the microwave, up in cling film.
When you go bang?
Nope. Prick it, obviously.
Oh, right, OK.
It will explode.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
And then what you need to do is cook the orange so you can put the knife straight through like that.
How long does that take?
In the microwave, about 2.5 minutes.
OK.
Or you can just boil gently in the pan. And what you'll get is this beautiful juice. Look at that. Now, they are quite pippy, so you want to be slightly careful. Take the pips out, chop it up. And
Skin and everything?
Everything, the whole thing. Right? Christmas time, we used to use little kumquats as well, and tangerines, which you can cook right through. Nice. But if you're putting in something like this, it's absolutely fine. We used to do them with a really sweet ice cream as well, and they're delicious with brandy on top. Yeah.
News just in, our belly button is trending on Twitter.
Is it?
No surprise there.
Good grief.
All the stuff we do on this show.
Oh, gosh. Anyway.